On my memo tonight, I want to visit a seemingly abandoned, old and dusty signpost to nowhere. I'm talking about Chapter 6 of the Constitution, Leadership and Integrity. A chapter that has existed more for aesthetics and wishful thinking than for our constitutional reality. For the 10 years of its existence, this is a chapter of the Constitution that has struggled the most to lift itself off the pages of the document and into a practical aspect of the Kenyan life. That is why I call it dusty. I call it abandoned, and for a lack of a better description, a PPE of convenience. We can write all these laws, but there are some things that cannot be prescribed. Integrity is not just a construct of the alphabet. You have to go beyond. Integrity has to be lifted off the books into our action, thinking and conduct, into our ways and our culture of doing things. That does not require an enabling legislation, but an enabling mindset of every individual. That is why we talk of concepts like political and moral responsibility, because they tie the law to our conscience. Chapter 6 can only talk about integrity, but it is the duty of individuals to live it and make it a habit and make it a culture. In an ideal world, lying is a moral wrong. We teach our children not to cheat or lie, sometimes with warnings of both earthly and heavenly consequences. And we throw in Chapter 6 into the Constitution to guide the adult population on the unwritten rules of engagement with each other. This would mean, for example, that a leader cannot make false promises, because if they do, they're failing the integrity test. If that leader were a child, they would face the consequences of cheating, which to most decent parents is a punishable offense. But you see, you can't spank a president, a deputy president, a cabinet secretary, a governor, a senator, member of parliament, an MCA, a regional commissioner, or a principal secretary. You can't even cane a chief or a sub-chief. The remedy for that has been Chapter 6, integrity. You tell a lie, you take responsibility. And we repeat here countless illustrations. Integrity has been done elsewhere, and sometimes in ridiculous manifestations if considered in the Kenyan context. For example, in January 2018, a member of the UK House of Lords resigned for arriving late to answer questions during a sitting, saying he was thoroughly ashamed of his actions. While in Japan, a minister was under fire and had to apologize for coming to a meeting 3 meetings late. His lateness caused a walkout that lasted for 5 hours. But in Kenya, such an illustration must be plain ridiculous. However, many other things place us in the same basket as the community of civilized nations. Integrity comes with certain irreducible minimums. Integrity paves way for moral accountability. It is the only way sometimes of making the powerful accountable to those who donate that power to them. It is integrity that arms us to that opening call on our constitutional preamble, we the people. That is why this memo crumbles on the pages with so much displeasure whenever we hear public servants declaring that they would rather die than resign, or who is my accuser, because such statements are always more about lack of integrity and accountability than they are about our most abused and misused concept of innocent until proven guilty. And by the way, integrity itself presumes innocence. It actually embodies innocence. It is the hallmark of coming out clean. What we have seen in the last 10 years is the development of a culture of resistance to Chapter 6 of the Constitution. In the political class, for example, the resistance is such that the political class has acquired herd immunity against Chapter 6. That is why, in all questions of accountability, reasons ranging from tribe to health have been cited in the very few resignations we have ever had in the public sector. As we mark 10 years of this Constitution, the onus is on all of us to ensure that we speak out when our leaders prove to be less than what we expected when you donated the powers to lead us to them. Let us stop the culture of ignoring blatant disregard of this important chapter of the Constitution and ensure that the two words describing it practically go hand in hand: leadership and integrity. That is my memo.